Hello, happy Tuesday, everyone. Happy Tuesday. This is Miss Xochi from Creating Angelic Experiences. Thank you for waiting on the line. We're a few minutes into the call, and I am so grateful and glad to be here. And it's Tuesday, July 1st. I want to send out a very special happy birthday to a very dear family member of mine. Happy birthday. I love you, love you. And I want to go ahead and get started today. Today we're going to be talking about prosperity and how that affects our world and how it, if we don't pay attention to what we're ordering out to the universe, how we don't get prosperity, and how prosperity can mean not just abundance in money, but it also is prosperity in energy, it's prosperity in love, it's being prosperous in life in general. So yay! Thank you again for being on the call. This is Miss Xochi, your host, and I've got the lines open tonight. We'll be taking callers, so if you have a question, go ahead and push 1 on your phones. I'm sorry, that's old. You don't want to push 1 on your phones. You want to push 5-star on your phone. And then if you're listening to us on the phone, and if you are listening, if you're watching live, you want to hover over to the left side of your, the left side of your chat box, and you will begin to see a little chat. It's like the first or second icon, and it's like a blue and white, and you can go ahead and do that. And I just noticed that I have something new. So I get to draw if I wanted to. So today we're going to be talking about prosperity. I don't know if I can do that. I guess maybe I can't. All right, we'll see how that works. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. If you're going to take notes or just listen, thank you again for being on the call. And so prosperity, what is prosperity and how do we tap into it? So instead of going all about manifestation, I want to remind you that we just had a new moon on Friday. Okay, that wasn't just yesterday, but we're still in that new moon energy. And if you recall from watching either any of the old videos that I've done recently in the past couple months, or if you've been to one of my workshops live, you know that manifesting is something that we do at these new moon workshops. So I'm so confused what this is. All right, I've got to take this off of the screen because it's just causing me to not pay attention, and I don't know what I'm doing. So let me get out of here if I can. I don't know how to get out of here. So hopefully I'm not distracting any of the viewers. All right. So yes, welcome. Prosperity. What is prosperity? Prosperity, as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, is all about being prosperous, and that could mean just having an abundance of wealth. It could be money. It could be success. It could be time. It could be love. It could be family. It could be something that you're, instead of lack, right? So we tend to focus a lot. Why is that? Why do we tend to focus on lack? We tend to focus on lack, which is things that we don't have, or things that we don't have enough of, that we are always searching more of or for. And so in prosperity, you want to in order for the universe to even bring you more, you want to focus on what it is that you do have already. You want to focus on what you're grateful for, because what ends up happening is the law of gratitude. Actually, I don't know if there's a law of gratitude. I just made that up as far as I know. And that is all about when you're being grateful, when you're focusing on being grateful, then the universe says, oh, that person, you want more of it. So the universe is, if I'm universe and you're saying, I'm so grateful for all the money that I have, regardless of how much it is, whether you think it's a lot or whether you think it's a little bit. if you say, I'm so grateful for this, then the universe is going to say, oh, okay, great. Now I'm going to send you more. And so being grateful. So that is the first thing that you want to take notice of when you are considering or when you're thinking of how can I be more prosperous, how can I be more prosperous. If you're looking for a new job, you want to say, be grateful for the job that you have at the present time. If you don't have a job and you're looking for a job, then being grateful for the jobs and the opportunities that you have had before, being grateful for the skills, being grateful for the time off. I mean, I've been on unemployment, I've been unemployed, and I remember just being so grateful for the time off. Being grateful, I would go to the park, I would journal, I would visit family, I would visit friends, I would do whatever I could to be grateful for the time off. I really, really would enjoy my time off. I'd go to the beach. This was before I was living by the beach, so I would go to the beach on the hot days, or the days that it was going to be warm. I'd go and just kind of journal, meditate. So being prosperous, how can you be grateful right now for what it is that you want more of? And so just taking that in, taking a deep breath, and just really focusing on that. What can I do right now? What can I be grateful for? Or how can I be grateful for having, not having a job, or for not having, if you're looking for a home, then being grateful for where you are. You were looking to move, making sure that you're grateful for where you are, not leaving it in a disarray, not leaving it in a mess. You want to be grateful, start organizing, start decluttering, making space, because that is when the universe will come forward and provide to you the good, more of what you want, more of what you want. And that's what you want, right? You want the universe to say, please, please, please. You want the universe to know that you want more. And the only way that you can do that is by being grateful. Well, not the only way, but that is one of the best ways and the quickest way to prosperity, is being grateful. Being grateful, being in an attitude of gratitude when something happens. For those of you that were on the call last week, you might have heard that I was in a not so fun incident. I was in a very pretty traumatic car accident, and it totaled my new car. Yes, it did. Totaled my new car, and now I get to go and shop for a new car. Of course, I'm still dealing with it. It's been very, very, very stressful, to say the least. And it was when Mercury was in retrograde, so there's just like the communication, talk about things not going the way that one, plans, or the way that, smoothly. It was just like the universe was just up in my face, and the more that I would resist, the more that it would get worse. It would just get worse. So just taking inventory of when something happens to you, saying, how can I be grateful, or automatically saying, out of this situation, only great things will happen. That's one of Louise Hay's top 10 affirmations, probably. It is, out of this situation, only great things will happen. And I've been saying that for years. So being in an attitude of gratitude. So that is the very first thing. And then second thing, you want to be clear. You want to be very specific. You want to be very clear. So this is a lot like manifesting, right? If you come to any of my workshops, you'll know that when you want to manifest, or when you want to be more prosperous, in whatever area of your life you're looking to be more abundant, you want to be very clear, be very specific with what it is that you want. Be very specific, because the universe will deliver. The universe will deliver. When I was looking for my last car, I was shopping around, and I kept saying, this is just a transitional car. This is just a transitional car. I'm not going to get attached. It's just a transitional car. And what ended up happening was it was a transitional car, a little over 3 months only. It was like from one Mercury retrograde right after it ended to the next. So I'm not going to be saying that anymore. And I don't invite you to say that again either. So saying this next car that I'm going to get is going to be there for me as long as it needs to be, and as long as it's right for me, and as long as we're right for each other. And the same goes for a relationship. The same goes for a business. The same goes for a job, a work environment. You're going to be there as long as it serves its purpose. And the minute that it serves its purpose, we ask that we have smooth transitions out, right? Smooth transitions. We always want smooth transitions. I had this pretty traumatic accident, but I was able to walk away with, thank God, no scratch. And I'm very grateful. I am very, very grateful to be here. So, being prosperous, be clear, be very, 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 very clear with what it is that you want. And third is watching your thoughts. Watching your thoughts, being very positive. Instead of, after I've had this accident, since I've been pretty into the panic mode when I drive, I can't help but think of just accidents all the time. And so I'm constantly having to reprogram my brain to train it to that I am safe, it is safe to drive, it is safe to drive, it is safe to drive. So it is safe for you to have money if you want to be more prosperous in money and abundance with large sums of cash or investment accounts, or maybe you're doing stocks and bonds, or perhaps you're going to be doing investment with real estate. Whatever it is for you, you want to say this is going to be really, I'm going to be very wealthy, this is going to be a great investment, being very positive in your speech, being impeccable with how you talk about it, not, oh, well, for whatever, this investment, we'll see how that goes. It's like, no, be positive. Not just wondering in the back of your mind, but speaking it out loud in positive thought. This is going to be great. This is going to be awesome. And a lot of it is going to be faking it till you make it. A lot of it will be, and I will be the first one to tell you that it will be the first one to tell you, fake it till you make it. And that's all right. That is completely fine. Completely fine. Completely fine. And faking it till you make it is just the reason why we fake it till you make it is because I will give you a little bit of information on that. Because your brain, you've been living your life in one particular way for so long. You've been, you've had all these habits, the way that you think, the way that you act, the same route to work, the same route to your parents' house, the same route to your friend's house, or maybe not. I'd like to take different routes. Maybe some of those out there like to. I don't know, raise your hand if that's you. Maybe not. It's okay. And when you do that, it changes up your brain. Your brain is just like monotonous. Like we're on autopilot. I can't give you a percentage, but more than 50% of the time in our lives, we're just like go, mono, auto, yeah, okay, we'll go, all right. And it's not about that. It's about changing it up, making sure if you go one way to work, you want to switch it up, maybe tomorrow, because that actually keeps your brain active. And it keeps you into remembering, getting you out of autopilot, and it creates amazing things in your life. What if you stopped at a coffee shop and you never did that, and you met somebody that was really amazing, or you ran into an old friend? And how is this related to prosperity? So my mind is going off on a tangent. The point is that you want to be faking it till you make it. That's what we were talking about. Faking it till you make it, because our mind is constantly on autopilot, and you want to break that cycle, just like break it. You want to do it like that, break it, and you don't want to be in that rut. You want to change things up. If you haven't talked to somebody in a long time, call them up. If you haven't invested, if you're having the same situations in your life, my favorite thing, one of my favorite definitions, my favorite word is insanity, right? Why? Because the definition of insanity is expecting different results by doing the same things over and over and over and over and over again. So It's like if I'm dyeing my hair blonde, I'm never going to get to red because I'm dyeing it blonde. I'm never going to get it to be dark if I'm dyeing it blonde or red. Does that make sense? Yes or yes? Raise your hand. Maybe? Maybe not? Okay, good. All right. Give yourselves a round of applause. Awesome. So I'm glad that you understand. I definitely would love to answer any questions about prosperity or about... Did I put my thing off of mute? Okay, good. About prosperity or about anything else that is maybe giving you some grief, not grief, but maybe any situations. And it looks like I must be having some still Mercury retrograde issues because we have a bunch of people and it looks like they're on and off and on and off and on and off. Huh. So, I don't know what's going on. I know we had a question here. Oh, I know what it was. I didn't have my speaker on for those of us listening. That doesn't help. It's all right. Mercury retrograde's in action. So today we're talking about prosperity. And what did I do? So I'm going to keep talking because it looks like people on the call were just having issues. I don't know what's going on. There's just so much going on. And I'm so bummed. So I'm going to pull some cards. If you do have a question, go ahead. And you're watching live, then go ahead and let me know by going to the chat. And I am going to get rid of this on my screen. And that's not working on my phone. All right. Well, there we go. Marina's on the line. Yay! And I know she had a call. All right. So let's go. And of course, I forgot to push record, but that's all right. Marina, let's go to you. Let's take you off of mute. And are you there, honey?
Yeah, I was having some trouble hearing you.
Yeah, I just realized after because I usually am looking at the video, and I realized after that I didn't push on my microphone speaker. So you couldn't hear me. It was probably too far away for you, right? It's okay. That's what happens. How can I fully support you, Marina? What's going on, honey?
Well, I just wanted to see what the angels had to say for me.
Okay. I love that. Let's see. I know I'm so bummed because I went to the call and then all of a sudden I see everybody like in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? Thank you for calling back in. Let's see. Let's go ahead and pull a card for you. All right. Take a deep breath for me, Marina. Let's clear out all this negative energy that we're carrying from this life, from any past lives, and all directions of time and space. Go ahead and do that. Oh. Okay, the first card that's coming through for you is an Archangel Raphael card, and it's one of the Angel Tarot deck, and he is talking about, so we know Archangel Raphael is all about healing, but he also talks about lovers. He also talks about intimate relationships. He also talks about our health, right, and are we taking care of ourselves? So Archangel Raphael is coming through, and he wants you to start paying attention to the relationships in your life. Have you?
Yeah.
What, honey?
I said, yeah.
What's wrong? You don't want to?
Well, no, I'm just having difficulty with family members.
That's exactly why then. That's exactly why they want you to look into that. So let's look into that. And let's see, angels. I'm getting 2 people specifically. Another Archangel Raphael card. Oh, and this, I'm not surprised. And the other card is Archangel Chamuel, which talks about relationships. So the first card is, after this, is Archangel Raphael's acceptance card. So what is it that you're going through? And you don't have to answer this, but the question they want me to ask you is, what's right about this disagreement or not getting along with this particular person in your family that you're just not seeing? Going in deeper, and I'm getting a lot of it's acceptance, whether it's this person accepting you for how you feel and what you are going through. And also, I'm getting you accepting that person for their point of view.
Yeah, it's my mom.
Oh, that can be.
We just clash so much.
Yeah, I know we've talked about this before a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, she's not even talking to me right now.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting your mom. Give me 1 second. I'm getting your mom is just feeling really hurt, but she plays the victim role a lot. Yeah.
So I leave her alone when she plays the victim because I won't have any part of it.
Yeah. They're saying that she just doesn't know any other way. That's the way that she learned when she was little. That's the only way that she was able to get attention. And so that's why it works for her. That's why she does it.
It doesn't work for me.
I know. Well, it worked for her when she was a little girl, so she has this belief in her head, right? Because we all have our own beliefs that we've created from when we were younger and so forth. She has this belief that when she acts like this, that she's going to get the attention she needs and she wants, and she's going to get what she wants. Does that make sense? Yeah. So call on Archangel Chamuel and Archangel Raguel and ask them. We're going to let's go ahead and invoke them now, because Archangel Chamuel is already here. So go ahead and take a deep breath in and out. And let's go ahead and call on Archangel Chamuel, and Archangel Raguel. Please come forward and help. Help the situation with Marina and her mama, so that they can get back to a loving place, a harmonious place. Archangel Chamuel is saying there's a lot of gentleness. The angels are also saying that they know that you like to be stubborn. And they want me to say, how hard is it for you to... They're saying, how hard is it for you? You don't have to do this, but how hard is it for you, or is it easy enough for you to be the first one to give the olive branch? I know it's not something you want to do.
I have to. I mean, she's my mom. I'm just, at this point, she just caught me at a time where I'm super busy.
Yeah, I understand that. They're saying that she just needs gentleness and she just needs love. And it's not that, and you can explain this to her. You can say, Mom, I would appreciate it if you were to XYZ, communicate this way, or just give me some time to make time for you, or schedule time for me, or schedule out some time for me. I know, I did that with my dad, and he nearly blew a gasket the first time I told him that. It's like, you need to ask my permission. And he's like, I'm your father. It's not, it's, as you get older, parents don't want to think that you don't have time for them, because we want to make time for them. Of course we want to make time for them. We love them. We adore them. But we also have our own lives too, and we also have to put in priority certain things. And unfortunately, it's not always as easy. It's not always a black and white situation. It's sometimes gray. Right?
Yeah, it's like when I get busy, it's like, okay, I don't have to go over there. It's just because we clash so much that I always leave feeling sick. And so it's like, it's easy when she's like this. It's like, okay, it's like 2 weeks without seeing Mom. That's okay,
Yeah.
And I don't want to like that, but it's like, this has been going on for a long time, and she just doesn't get it.
Yeah, well, she's older, and the older we get, the older in age we are, if we're not open to learning all the time, the harder it is to change. The more we're set in our ways, and the more stubborn we become, and the more unwilling we are to change. So, with her, does she know what you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever taken her to any of your classes?
I've invited her and she doesn't want to go.
So you can use that as a tool. You can say, I've invited you. I'm making time for you. I will go pick you up. I will drop you off, or however you want to work it out. And this is the only time I have. And just give her an option. Maybe one time a week, call her and say, look, I've got this time and this time. I can't see you this week, but I can talk to you on the phone like 2 nights this week. Maybe giving her a heads up. Does that make sense? Another thing they're saying is that you have the tools. The tools. Before you go over there, you said that you start to feel sick because she starts to play the victim and she dumps stuff on you. Is that what's going on?
Well, that, and she's just so negative that it's like I can't tolerate being there for a while. It's just if I don't feel sick, I just don't want to be around the negative.
I understand that. I completely understand that. Will she be open to you saging her home?
Probably not.
Okay, so then the only other tools which we can use are covering her house, right, with the white light of the Holy Spirit before you go over there. Like, if you know you're going to go there in 3 days in advance, just start sending it all already. Does that make sense? And then also, right before you get there, actually, the minute you know you're going to go, start to send her pink light, pink energy, automatically, and call on her angels before you go and ask them to show up for her in her highest self.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah. It's going to help a little bit, and it's going to take some time. And you know what? Everybody makes their own decisions as far as whom to keep in your life and whom to not keep in your life. Of course, we want to keep our parents, and that's a completely free will question. Is the relationship that you have with your mother, and there are times where some people, their parents are just so negative that they've actually. I've known a lot of people that they've just cut them out for a while, and it's not just parents; they've cut out negative people that are like their family members.
I'm on the verge of that.
Your mom.
I really am on the verge of that.
Yeah.
And my mom can be evil.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I understand that feeling of just not wanting to do that because especially when you're a light worker and you're doing so many great things or you're helping people, you want them to see that. But when someone is just in that place of, they just have this like black cloud over their head, and they just, or they're in this like cube, and it's like a, it's just like their own little glass box, and they just are so unwilling to look outside the box, or so unwilling to step out, and just sometimes you just have to let them figure that out on their own. I know I've shared this before when I first started doing when I first started reading all these self-help books and starting to take classes, when I first became an angel therapy practitioner, I wanted to share this with the world. I thought, I can tell my mom, I can tell my dad, and everything we can be positive, and this was like almost 10 years ago. And I kid you not, I was so disappointed because I would constantly get people just amusing me. Like they thought, okay, well, I'll just do this to make her, whatever, she's doing her thing, And it was really sad because I would see people that I loved still struggling, still going through things that they just didn't have to, like their limiting beliefs, cutting them, at the very core of who they were and depriving them of their greatness and of amazing things happening to them. It's like the car would always break down, or the same relationship, and you're like, God, get over it, and you can see it as an outsider. You can say, okay, well, do you want my opinion? But the only way that you can help people, and this is one of my most challenging lessons I had to learn, was you have to just be an example. You have to be an example. The minute that your life is just getting better, it's going to keep getting better and better and better and better. And when it does, then you'll be able to see that other people, will be able to see, oh, she's doing something different. I want to ask her, or maybe I'll start listening to her, see what she has to say. But it doesn't happen overnight, and unfortunately, if you do have to cut some people out of your life, unfortunately you do. I mean, we always hope we don't, especially our parents. But if you're not able to lift people up energetically, they're going to pull you down after so long. Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
It's I'm hard to say I have to accept it, and I know I have to leave. It's just us two. We're the only two in the family now, so I know that I have to, whatever, I have to go over there. It's just, but it's the same thing keeps happening over and over and over again.
Yeah. Well, you can be the catalyst for something new. So you've got to make that change. So do what I told you, and you can, the next time you go over there, you can have a nice little talk and say, this is the last time that I'm going to entertain this, or, however you want to communicate that. But I really hope that we don't go through this again. I really love you, and I would hate to do this for you. I'm letting you know now that this is what's going to happen if we're in the same situation. I'm going to have to, you've got to, XYZ, put down what you're willing to deal with and what you're willing not deal with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that talk's long overdue.
Yeah, and it's time that you do that. And like I said, before you go, do the angels, call on Archangel Gabriel, cover the house with the white light of the Holy Spirit, send her pink light, and then have that conversation and be open to what she says. And the minute that, hopefully it doesn't happen, but the minute that, if it does happen again, that same pattern, then you know right away that you've got to break the cycle.
Yeah.
And you can just, it could be like a timeout. It could just be like that T that you're doing with your hands that says, time out, I'm out, I can't right now, and I don't want to anymore. So change. Change is here. Change is here. Change is coming. But definitely call on Archangel Gabriel. I'm sorry, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Chamuel, Archangel Raguel, just all the angels, really.
Yeah, I think I'll stick her in a grid tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, that's great. I love that. I love crystal grids.
Yeah, a lot of love.
Yeah, and we're all, everybody on the call, go ahead and I invite you to join me to send Marina's mama some love, to let her know that it's safe to be loved, that it's safe to be different, that change can be good. So we're going to just send your mama some love. Anybody else on the call or watching, whether it's right now or whether they're watching this later, we're going to send your mama some love.
Aw, thank you.
My pleasure, honey. My pleasure. I'm so glad that you called in. And let's see here. So thank you again. Thank you again, Marina. I really do enjoy talking to you and catching up. So I'm glad that things are going and getting busy for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure, honey. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute. And again, if you have a question, go ahead and push 5-star on your phone or go ahead and start chatting on the Google Plus Live. And I'm actually going to check before I, okay, good. Just checking to see if there's any comments because sometimes people post and I don't see. Okay, good. Fabulous. Not missing anything there. All right, let's see. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pull another card for everyone else. As I mentioned to you before, we're new moon energy. I love it. Today's July 1st. Yay! Mercury started going direct again. And if you've been having a crazy life, or if you have not been resisting any change and things have been going smoothly, but not so much just how you were expecting, then I also want to pull a card for you as well. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath and let's just clear our energy. Let's really just breathe it out, taking a deep breath in, taking a deep breath out. And just trusting that everything that's coming through is meant for you to hear. So the next card, oh, I love it, is listening. Listening card. Listening card. So how can we listen a little bit more? And it's not so much listening to the angels. They know that you've been talking to them. They know that you've been sending, requesting the signs and requesting messages. They know that, and you're so applauded for that. Your angels are really speaking loud to me and letting me know. But they also want me to tell you with this particular card, it's not so much listening to the angels as so much as it's listening to your body, listening to yourself, listening to your intuition. Your intuition is telling you what exactly, what direction you need to go, in what direction, what's working for you, what isn't working for you. For me, usually, I've noticed that when, I'll share this with you because I share everything, almost everything with you. I recently, not too recently, I was at the beach and I was having an amazing conversation with one of my angel therapy practitioner sisters who lives out of the state, and we sometimes exchange readings here and there. And what ends up happening is while I'm on the beach, I don't have my sweater on the whole time. I have like a sports bra, so it was pretty much overcast. And I end up getting so sunburned that I can't sleep like for the next 2 nights. It's so bad. So bad. So what ends up happening is I am just like also going through this not so fun time, and I'm finding out about the accident, and I get this piece of information in the mail about the accident, and I become so furious. I become so furious that I can feel literally my blood boiling. I am just enraged. I'm just upset. I'm very upset. And many years ago, I knew somebody that worked at I still know somebody that works at a sporting goods, but they worked at a sporting goods, and I got a punching bag and boxing gloves years ago, like over 10 years ago. And I don't leave it in my garage because I don't want it to get dirty because I'm such a girl, even though I never ever use it. But I was so furious that I ended up pulling, like literally dragging my punching bag out, because it's like one of those big ones that usually you see at a boxing place, and they're like super big, and people do kick out workouts and stuff. Well, that's how big it is, but mine isn't hanging. So I drag it out of my closet, and I end up like beating it because I'm so mad. I'm just like, I can't drive right now. I can't do anything about the situation, and I don't want to be patient. It was like me having a temper tantrum. And you know what? That's totally fine. Totally fine. I'm okay with that because I wasn't trying to take it out on anybody else. I knew that if I was interacting with someone else, I was going to take it out on them, and that's just not cool, and it's not fair. And I usually tell people, listen, I'm in a bad mood. I don't want to take it out on you. I need a timeout, or right now is not a good time. Some people don't like it when I say that. No, it is what it is. They probably won't like it if I said something worse. So I excuse myself and I take a time out. So I took my punching bag out, and I was punching it probably for about 20 minutes. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I don't think I lasted that long because I don't ever work out. But I ended up giving myself a bruise because I probably was punching wrong. And it was just so, I was just so upset. And I ended up, after realizing like the next day, for those of you, okay, let me just ask a question before I continue. How many people are listening or watching the video have ever gotten sunburned? Yes or yes? Raise your hand. Okay, good. I know I'm not the only one. And how many of those people, how many of you have not? It's okay if you haven't. But those of you that have, you know what ends up happening to your body, right? Your skin becomes super duper 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 red, like the color of my boa back here, or the color of my shirt, and it hurts. It just hurts. You can't have anyone touch that part of your skin. I couldn't lay on my stomach. I couldn't lay on my back. I couldn't lay on my side. It was just so miserable. And then after a while, if you don't take care of it, you start to peel. Okay. Well, about a day after, I ended up actually getting a rash on parts of my body that did not get sunburned. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I was so upset that I created so much heat in my body that it started to spread into like a rash. And I mean, it didn't itch or anything like that. It was just like red spots here and there, but and they eventually went away. But I just realized that this is what can happen. We're not, that our bodies are talking to us. My body was like, calm down. My body was like, you're upset. And we could see that, and we're physically going to manifest that in your body, so you need to do something about it. And so I really had to take the time to go within, meditate, call my angels, and not that I hadn't called my angels, but I was just in a, not so happy mood. And it happens. I'm human. I'm letting you know. I am actually spirit having a human experience, and I think that's why it's so frustrating, because when I'm on the other side, I feel like I don't have to go through this. Why am I going through this? I don't want to go through this. And that's okay. That's okay if you get into those moments of either just depression, or you get into those brief moments of anger, or you get into those moments of frustration. It's okay. to let your feelings out. It's okay to be emotional at times, and to know, as long as you're able to let it pass, let it move through you, let the feeling go, and once it's out, you've got to get it out. Like, I had to beat up the punching bag. I had to. But once I did, I felt better. And then I didn't have to take it out on anyone, and I didn't have to be upset for the rest of the day. I was just like, let's just get it out. And for some people, it's running. For some people, it's going to do some yoga. For some people, it's going to do boxing or Muay Thai or MMA or whatever it is. Maybe it's drawing or painting, whatever that is for you. Just knowing that you've got to get that stuff out, that pent-up energy. If you're frustrated and if you're sad, you've got to cry it out. I know I'm a woman, and as a woman, well, obviously I know I'm a woman. I know as a woman that there are times where, I just want to cry. I can feel it. Every so many months I'll just be like, okay, I got to do some releasing. It's the full moon energy. It's that time. I can feel it. I just know. And maybe I'll go to the beach. Maybe I'll just be at home. Maybe I'll watch a movie. Oh, The Notebook does it for me. If I watch The Notebook, that'll just, I'm like, ah. I'm a mess. So anyway, I'm going to pull one more card for you for the rest of this week, because I really want to wish you an amazing week, a blessed week, and I really hope that great things happen to you and for you, surprises, great surprises, and then I get a car. I get a new car. I don't even know. I kind of have an idea what I want to get, but I'm just so... I don't know. We'll see. If you have any ideas or if your intuition tells you anything, you let me know. Write me on Facebook and let me know. Write on the comments on here. I'd love to hear it. All right. The message is steady. So what would you like to know a little bit more about this week? Or what have you been curious about? Get curious. That's what they want me to say to you. Get curious. Get curious with where you are, get curious about where you want to be, and get curious on how to get there. Get curious. Following up, maybe Googling, maybe taking out a book, maybe doing a little bit more research. I want to move to Paris. Actually, I was looking at some... I remember when I wanted, on my gypsy days, I thought about moving to a different country. And so what I did was I would just Google, like, traveling jobs. And, why not? A great one I think I considered was working on a cruise line. On a cruise line, you work for 6 months, and you get a break, and you go another 6 months. So what is it for you? What are you curious about this week? And look into that. All right? So that is your angelic experience for this week, this Tuesday, July 1st. We talked about prosperity and how to bring it into your life, how to invite it in, and then we took some calls. And I would love for you to either leave a comment and or like the YouTube channel and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a comment, like the video. Let me know what you think. Let me know what's going on with you, and or on the Google Plus page, or on Facebook, or on Twitter, and I'd love to hear from you. So this is Miss Xochi signing off, reminding you that if opportunity doesn't knock, create a door, open the door, and walk through it. This is Miss Xochi, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Angel Days. Toodaloo.